Hello and welcome, Neumont University students and beyond. I need to fix the camera a little bit. I set it up for 2 people, and we don't have 2 people this time, so rest in peace. I'm Sky, and we're getting into some Splatoon here. Looks like our first map is going to be Tower Control Ship-Shaped Cargo. For those who have not played Splatoon or are unaware, Splatoon is basically a hero shooter, and Tower Control is like a basic push game mode. You have the tower, it goes through checkpoints on either side. If it's over here, you have to push it slowly back over there. If it's over there, you have to push it back over here. And whichever team gets it further wins. If you make it to the final checkpoint, you automatically win. Basically like push in Overwatch, or I'm pretty sure TF2 has an equivalent. I'm not 100% sure what it's named, though. I don't play much TF2. That being said, we will be getting into this game here in just a second. Everyone has readied up. Battle time. Let's get right into the game. Wrong sides. Let's flip the sides. There we go. Tower Control on Ship Shape. Ship Shape's a pretty interesting map. You have the 2 sides, and then you have that bridge on top. That makes it to where you can get some funny picks by looping around and finding your way behind the enemy. Looks like they are running a blaster, a brush, a Splatana. Ooh, sorry. Splatana and something else there. We are running in NZAP, Splatling, a Splatana, and sorry, a Mint. I think that's a defab, and another Splat. Or is that them? I might be crazy. No, that's us. Neumont goes 2 down already, as the yellow side is trying to push forward. They have control of the point, and they're bringing it to that first objective right there. Neumont goes 2 down again, 2 for 2 though. This oh lord, this Neumont goes 2 down once again. Yellow is pushed way up onto Neumont's side, and Neumont finds 2 there with a with one of their secondaries. Neumont trying to stop the push here. Akuma is getting called out by their blaster. The brush is their decab is pushed pretty far up. They go into the bubble but go down. Neumont seems to have stopped the push for the time being, but they go 2 down, 2 for 2 once again. Can Neumont find something here? It's not looking like it as they keep going down on all of these jumps. They're pushing the objective back to the middle, but Squiddo pops his bubble right as he goes down. 2 for 2 once again, just constantly trading on both sides. 3 down on Neumont, 3 down on both sides. Crazy. They just keep going 1 for 1. Both of the Splatling guns go at each other, trading 1 for 1 once again. The amount of trades here is just kind of crazy. 2 for 2. Neumont has a 3rd down, but they go 3 for 3 as Neumont brings the objective back in the middle of this map here with 3 minutes left. Decab finds the other decab. We don't trade there. Neumont's just down a member. You see the bubble popped on point. Goes down pretty much immediately. Neumont trying to find something, trying to look for a good opportunity, but they go 2 down. Those are just 2 picks. We see the Booyah come out. Can it find anyone? It does not look like it does, but Neumont is still 2 down. The checkpoint, it reaches checkpoint 2 as they are about to just absolutely rock roll all the way through the objective here. If Neumont cannot find anything, they have the bubble up and they find it. They get the first round. The first round goes to Auburn. I do not think it's a best of 3. I think it's a best of 5. Let me update the rules real quick. I think it's best of 5, first to 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Best of 7, first to 4? I think it's best of 7, first to 4? Question mark. Best of 3 is first to 2. Best of 5 is first to 3. Best of 7 is first to 4. Gave it to the wrong team. 1 second. There we go. Fixed that. And let's hop back over to webcam. Sorry for it being a little bit scuffed. Solo casting. It's break. Don't have a lot of casters. We might have a second caster for the Marvel Rivals game later. No promises, but we might. Neumont played pretty well there, but it was just kind of a trade fest. They kept on going in, trading, and eventually when Auburn found one extra pick, they managed to just roll it into Neumont 2 times in a row, and that just gave them a massive lead, and then they did it again, and then we saw what happened. What could Neumont do better there? That's a really good question. I'm not fully sure what Neumont could have done absolutely better there. I feel like playing more as a team, trying to communicate a little bit more and get the objective pushed as a team, trying to make sure that you're not sitting there just in a bunch of 1v1s trading 1 for 1 over and over again, rather than just accepting the trades, would have potentially led to a better game. Obviously, I can't estimate how Auburn would have played into that, but just purely data-wise, I do believe that instead of trading, trying to find a more team-based, pick-based game would have potentially been better for me. I have to tear the label off of my bottle because I forgot to do that. So give me 2 seconds while I do that. Apologies for the sound. We should be getting into this next game here. I believe it is Clamblitz Mako Mart. Mako is, if I remember, I can never remember if Mako is the one that I really like or if it's Hagglefish. I think it's Mako. Mako is a really interesting map. It has a bunch of ledges, so rollers and brushes, and anyone that can really take advantage of ledges. I think blasters, too, get a decent chunk of advantage off of ledges. Can just really thrive on this map and find so many good picks. And with how the Clamblitz Mako Mart goals are set up, it is really easy to find a interesting, like, quick push and just throw the ball right into the goal. Oh, wrong sides again. I fixed it. Yeah. So getting into this, it looks like our team has 1 Splatling, a Bucket. Yeah, Bucket's also really good on this map. And their team is running a Brush, 2 Splatanas, and a Splatling gun. Really interesting to play 2 Splatanas. I don't think they get that much advantage for ledges, but I could be wrong. Everyone's trying to get out there, get some clams up, but it looks like Auburn is doing a lot better at getting those clams. One of their Splatanas tries to go out, but they go 2 down. Neumont has an advantage now. Will they push up and take it? Let's find out. They toss down Soda. The Splatana almost goes down, and they do to that Zipcaster there. We do manage to take down the Zipcaster, but we were 2 down. That Splatana did not have Soda, so they did just flat out go down. We see our NZAP trying to find something here. They're picking up a bunch of clams. Can Neumont find a ball? That's the real question here, because if they want to be in this game, they need to get a ball. They do have the clams for it. They could absolutely toss out some clams and find a ball pretty fast here. This Splatana's trying to find something on these ledges. Finds one. That Booyah Bomb goes down right on top of him, but he still finds a pick on the thrower. They're 2 down once again, but Neumont has a ball. They're just not pushing up despite getting 2 picks there. I'm very confused. Neumont plays really slow sometimes. Neumont B team plays really slow a lot of the time, and it ends up leading into stuff like this, where they could have formed the ball. They could have gotten forward off of those picks, but they did not. We trade 2 for 2 there. Neumont still has this ball up. They're trying not to go down to this Splatana. We see the Booyah Bomb popped here. Gets tossed out over there as the Splatana finds our ball carrier. Where's our ball? Oh, we find it. We pick it up. Good for Neumont. Yeah, there's Splatana once again trying to go in, trying to find a pick. We see Reef Slider into the point there, but we drop the ball. 2 down on Neumont, 3 down on Neumont, and we just wasted a ball. Unfortunate. Good defense from Auburn there, not falling for the Reef Slider push. Auburn gets a pick on Neumont, but they don't have the clams for a ball. So despite getting 2 picks, I don't think they're 3 picks. They're not going to find anything off of it here. 4 picks, crazy. Respawn says that they did not get a wipe there, but they still just need clams. They're not collecting either. They're just kind of pushed up, killing Neumont. Slaying can be fun and good, but if you're just spending the entire time slaying, then you're not ever going to have a ball. They do have enough clams for a ball now, but they'd have to gather them all on one person. As Platana goes down, and they have 2 down. Neumont has an advantage now. If they can find some clams and push forward here, that would be really good for them. 1 goes down on Neumont. 2 goes down on Neumont. They have a bunch of clams stacked on their splatling gun here. Can they find something? We still haven't seen any points scored in this game of Clam Blitz. They have it. Can they get anything off of it? That's the real question. It's a 1-for-1 trade, Neumont to Auburn, but Neumont respawns first, so can they get anything? That's the real question. They're just playing really far back. That's Platana tries to go in and find something, but dashes a little bit too far. Neumont is 1 down. Can Auburn find something here? They're in the back of their point. If they can get a jump down, then they can find a free score, but they do not get the jump down. Neumont finds their ball carrier, but they still have the ball. They pick it up, they throw it in. They get 2 balls in and some clams, bringing it to a massive, massive 43-point lead. Neumont has 1 minute to bring it back. They have a ball up and ready. Can they find anything off of it? They really need to get it in. Because if they cannot, they will just be fully out and down. Neumont 1 ball up. They need more clams if they want this push to work. Their clam carrier goes down to that brush there. Unfortunately, 2 down on Neumont. Their Platana manages to find one and pick up the ball, tosses it down, throws down his bubble, but cannot quite find anything. We go down. We lose the ball. Unfortunate for Neumont. 30 seconds left. They need to get a ball up. If they do not get a ball up, it will be game 2 for Auburn here. Yeah, this is looking bad for Neumont. They have 2 balls up. Can they get anything off of it? You see the booyah coming out from Neumont. Can it find anything? It cannot. Neumont goes 2 down. 5 seconds left to push. They just need to get this ball in. They get zip casted. They do not have a good opportunity. They need to get these balls down and in, but they cannot. They are just constantly down. 3 down on Neumont. I think it's over. I think that is game here for Auburn. Yeah, game. Their balls get disappeared, and Neumont is down and out for a 2nd game in a row. Auburn getting that nice 43-0. Wonderful, wonderful play from Auburn there. Ooh. No fist bump, sad days. For those that don't know what I'm referencing, if 2 people get all golds, they fist bump at the end if they're standing next to each other, which is also random chance. Yeah, getting into this next game, it looks like it will be Splat Zone's Mahi Mahi. I do not like Mahi Mahi. It is a map where, depending on how progressed the zone is, the water levels, the tide, it will raise or lower, changing how much of a map you have to play on, how much you have to think about. And it's just so much work, and there's so many areas that you cannot, like, swim through because they're unpaintable, and leaves me caught out too often. That being said, we will be getting into this Splat Zone's Mahi Mahi. I think Neumont needs to play towards their advantage more, because if they had gotten the objective in the earlier game when they had 2 down and a ball up, I feel like they could have potentially gotten something there, but they were playing really far back and just could not handle it. So when they started to push forward, they got caught out because they took a little bit too long. They had respawned and left us just in the dust. Eventually they pushed forward, they got the 2 picks, they got their people in, they found a 3rd. I don't think they actually found a 3rd. I think they got 2 picks. They pushed their people in, got 2 balls and a couple clams, and just maybe 2 balls and 1 clam, I think. All went down, and that lead was more than enough for them. Speedwagon and Fox are 2 of their players. I wonder if Speedwagon has been paying attention to part 6 or 7, I think. It's part 7. We're getting into this. Splat zones, mahi mahi. Splat zones, for those that are not well versed in Splatoon, is basically capture the point, except you have to paint the point to capture it. If you have the most paint on the point, it will paint the entire point, and then it will be captured in your favor. If you go under half, it goes gray. If you go under 75%, it'll paint the point in your enemy's favor. Let's get right into this. Looks like we have a Splatling, a Splatana, a Umbrella, and a I can't remember what that weapon type is. The one that Fox is playing. On Neumont, we see the ooh! Unfortunate for Neumont, they dash right into the water. That's part of why I don't like this map. It's really easy to accidentally walk off. We see the reef right onto the point, repainting it in Neumont's favor. They get through the gray points, but 2 down on Neumont. I don't think they have the paint to keep this. Maybe they do. Squiddo's up here. Nah. They eventually paint it. We see the Booyah come out, trying to find a pick here. Cannot quite find anyone, but still did good either way. We see Bubble come down for Auburn. The Splatling finds the Umbrella, but the Decavs trade, leaving Neumont down a player. This Bucket's trying to get in and find something, but they go down, unfortunately, for Neumont. We have Soda up and ready. The tide has raised. There's a lot more room to play now. Our Decav immediately goes down, but we find their, I think it's Pencil, or, no, it's not Pencil. Splatter Shot? I'm going to call it Splatter Shot. We find their Splatter Shot and manage to we managed to retake the point, giving them a bunch of gray points. Neumont throws something on there, but they go down. Throws the Booyah on there. They go down, cannot quite find anything. Booyah coming down from Auburn. Same with the Bubble, and Neumont goes 2 down once again. We have a jump coming in onto the point here. Squiddo right there, ready to play. But it's just so hard to push through all of these bubbles. It's so crazy. Decav gets up there. Neumont goes 2 down. We have our own Decav about to go down. 2 Auburn. They manage to find 1. They almost find a second. They do not quite. 2 of them are lit from that Decav, but Neumont does not find them. Neumont needs to paint the zone, give them some more gray points if they want to have a chance at playing the game, but it does not look like they will, as Auburn has taken them down. 15 points left. If Neumont cannot paint this point, then they will be in a bad spot. They do manage to find it, getting 50 gray points back to Auburn. We see a Booyah popped right on the point. Auburn goes 1 down as Neumont is trying to play around it. We see Narwhal pop Bubble over here, finds 1. Our Bucket goes down, but we did find their Splatling down there. Neumont is in a pretty good spot here, but they go 2 down to those things. We trade 2 back, but our cannot quite get the jump out. Our NZAP cannot quite get the jump out there. They've retaken the objective as Neumont is trying to find their way on. Our Bucket kind of solo pushes there. We trade 1 for 1 because their Splatter Shot pushed a little bit too far up. Akuma and Narwhal are pushed forward here, trying to find some picks. They do manage to find 1, but our Bucket goes down once again, unfortunately caught out on a jump. We see one of them jump out there as Neumont is trying to retake this point, but they still don't have it. They need to paint this point here, but they cannot work through all of the paint that Auburn has. Our Bucket tries to get the Decav on their side, but they cannot. Our NZAP goes down on the point. Neumont is in a bad spot. 15 left. Wipeout from Neumont. Good work, Neumont. Big wipeout there from Neumont. They retake the point. They are saying we are still in this game. They just need to hold it now. Decav pops Bubble on point, trying to find something here, but Neumont does not have any picks yet. Their Decav loops behind, almost gets a pick, but the Decav managed to take it out for another wipeout from Neumont. Wonderful play. They are still in this game. 48 points left as they are pushed very far forward. Our Decav's trying to find theirs, but they miss. Our Decav gets pretty low here. Neumont goes the Bucket down. They need to start playing a little bit further back, finding some picks. They go ahead and find 1 for 1, but that big booyah bomb paints the point for Auburn. Neumont needs to find something here. They go 2 down once again, unfortunately for Neumont. They're trying to paint the point, but they just can't find it. They're getting staggered here. Neumont needs to group up. They need to find this last push. They need the overtime if they want to win this game. Looks like Akuma and the Bucket seem to know that as they played back. We see the Booyah Bomb onto point. Can they find enough paint to actually get it here? 5 points left. Neumont finds the paint. They manage to take it just in time for overtime here as they just need to hold this point. They cannot go down. Akuma trades onto the point. That Booyah Bomb might be enough for them to paint it. Not quite. Neumont comes back in and retakes the point. 2 down on Auburn as Neumont is holding strong, trying to get through this umbrella. Neumont almost loses paint on the point. Reef Slider coming back in to paint it all the way. Neumont keeps on holding. They cannot let it go down. We see the Booyah Bomb come out from Squiddo here. 23, and they almost lose control to Auburn there. It's just this decaf up on this point. Neumont cannot let them paint. 10 points left. 9, 8, 7, 6. No! Neumont gets painted out. 5, 4, as Neumont takes the objective right there in the end through overtime with 2 wipeouts. Wonderful play right at the end from Neumont there. Big plays from Neumont. Back-to-back wipeouts. Just handing them the game there. Was a hard-fought match from both sides. Bringing it to 1-2, Neumont and Auburn. I talked about Neumont playing slow before, and they definitely took those words to heart. I don't know if they're listening in. I doubt it, but if they were, they definitely took those words to heart. When they were finding picks, they were pushing forward, taking the objective, and that's exactly the kind of play that I was hoping to see from them. And it worked out very well. It started to stagger Auburn, and when they found that first wipeout, it put them in a massive advantage, and they pushed up, they pushed forward, they pushed towards Auburn's spawn, and that found them a second wipeout on Auburn. Just absolutely wonderful play from both sides there. Auburn definitely put up a big fight. They got it down to 5 so fast. I thought it was over for Neumont when they just barely managed to take the point in time. And Auburn just barely couldn't defend at the end of there. Wonderful play. Wonderful play around the specials there from both sides too. We saw Auburn try their best to get those bubbles and booyahs onto point every time that they could, and it worked out so well at the beginning of the game. But when they got staggered and their specials went down, Neumont just fully wiped them, could not stop killing them, and could not stop defending the point just barely with their own specials. Looks like we will be getting into the next map here soon. It should be Rainmaker Humpback. I hate Humpback. I hate it with a passion. I do not like this map. Humpback, for those that have not played Splatoon, is a map that's a skate park that has like a giant hump in the middle of the map and like massive dips at the side of the hump, making it really hard to play around that like central point. And then you have like the tightest choke in the game on both sides that I can think of, where it's a wall right here and you have to push around this wall. It's just so hard to get through, so hard to play around. But when you manage to go in and find those picks, it feels so good. Looks like both teams are readying up here now as we are just waiting on Speedwagon and Fox on their side. Going to be really interesting to see how the teams play into Rainmaker. For those who have not played Rainmaker, it's sort of like a capture the flag game mode, except the flag is a gun that you pick up and that you have to blow up a bubble around, and when that bubble blows up, it can kill people. Hope that made sense to everyone watching. You'll see in game. Getting into this now, as I mentioned, Humpback. You have this like skate park map, giant hump in the middle. It's so weird. I do not like Humpback. We see basically the same comp from Neumont and a different kind of splatter shot from Auburn. It took me so long to remember their name. You see the Rainmaker's going in Auburn's favor, but Neumont's trying not to let it get popped. They're tossing out their stuff and slowly painting it more. Auburn loses pop, but Neumont trades 1 for 1. They find a second 2 for 2. Auburn to Neumont. Akuma's up by this Rainmaker, but does not want to go down. We get 2 jumps in on Neumont. Their Blaster managed to find our Splatling as Neumont finds 2 from Auburn. Neumont is ahead by a little bit, but just not enough to find anything here. This Splatana's trying to set something up, but they cannot quite get enough paint. Splatana goes 1 for 1, but they pop their bubble, unfortunately for Neumont. Akuma once again trying to find their way onto the point. We see big jumps in on both sides as this Splatana finds Akuma. Can they get in and find some more for Auburn? They cannot. They go down to our Splatling gun. Finally, we see a Booyah Bomb come out, but Narwhal goes down. The Booyah doesn't find anyone. It's so hard to beat kills with Booyah on this map. Booyah comes out from Auburn, does not find anyone either. They pick up the Rainmaker, though. They're starting to get a little bit of a push on it. They manage to get it all the way to checkpoint. Can they hop on, though? It looks like they can as Neumont loses the lead to start out. We do manage to wipe them there, but it's not that big of a deal because Auburn is going to respawn more than in time before Neumont gets an equivalent push. We have Soda coming out from Neumont as they're trying to push this forward. Auburn goes 2 down there to the Rainmaker. Good work, Rainmaker, but our Rainmaker goes down, unfortunately. Auburn finding 3 nice picks. 2 of them respawn pretty fast because of the Soda. Auburn trying to find something here. This hero shot, this hero blaster. Trying to S-Blast? I think it's S-Blast. Is trying to find something here as they have the Rainmaker. Neumont had the Rainmaker. Not Neumont, sorry. Auburn had the Rainmaker, but they lose it. It goes down. Neumont trying to pop the Rainmaker here. Managed to find it. They need to get rid of Auburn's lead here. 2:30 left on the clock. That Booyah manages to catch Akuma out. Unfortunately, Neumont is 2 down as Auburn pushes up. Auburn finds a third. They're going to push around the wall. It's going to be a hard fight here now for Neumont because they have lost that choke. 45 from Auburn, 46. Neumont goes 1 down. Neumont almost goes 2 down. It's just a Rainmaker left. 7 points. It's going to be a hard time for Neumont to get an equivalent push there now. Neumont drops it down that ledge as they try to push up, try to find their way in. Big bubble there from Narwhal as they try to dash around the point. We managed to find checkpoint, but with 1:40 left on the clock, Neumont basically has to break their final checkpoint to win the game as Auburn finds a wipeout. 2 from Neumont respawning right as the wipeout happens. Auburn has the Rainmaker once again. They're trying to push it up and forward. But really, I mean, they can kind of just camp it at this point. They have so much of an advantage. 3 down on Neumont. It's just Akuma left trying to find the Rainmaker, but they cannot. Will Auburn get the Rainmaker into the point? They barely lose it 1 point before it goes in. A minute left. Neumont needs to find some big plays if they want to win it. Before, when it was 7, I said they basically had to find their way into the final checkpoint on Auburn's side. Now they literally have to if they want to win. Neumont has the Rainmaker. They're trying to push it up and forward, but are they watching their flanks? That's the real question. They lose the Rainmaker as Auburn pops a Booyah Bomb on it. Neumont trying to paint it, trying to find the damage that they need. They manage to get it down. Speedwagon gets pretty low. Narwhal finds Speedwagon off to the side there. Splatana trying to pull something there. I don't think that works, though. They do get in. They find a second pick. Can they find a third on the enemy team's Splatana? Doesn't look like they can as Auburn manages to get a Rainmaker reset there. Neumont respawns. They're finding their way back in. They're going to try to break this Rainmaker once again. Akuma almost going down here. Throws out Soda, but pretty far away from himself. Pretty dangerous move, but it works out in the end. Neumont has 8 seconds left to pick up this Rainmaker and find it all the way to the end. We see the Reef go in, but they cannot find anything with it. 1 goes down from Neumont, 2 down on Neumont. It is just the Rainmaker and 1 left out here as the Rainmaker goes down, unfortunately, for Neumont. Auburn finds yet another win. Big plays from both sides there, but Auburn just had the advantage the entire game. They were better at finding those picks, better at finding that lead. Do they have a fist bump? No fist bump, unfortunately. Love to see a fist bump, but they had 2 wipes on Neumont there, and maybe even 3. Just big plays. They were playing so well around their entire team. When they found picks, they got their team to collapse and just wipe out Neumont, which is exactly what you want to see happen. Neumont was a little bit slow to play around the picks that they got, and once again, that just kind of lost them that round. Also, they let Auburn get a nice push off of some of those picks twice in a row, which just led them to have such a devastating advantage. And then later in the game, they found an even more devastating advantage on Neumont by just pushing it 1 point away. They could have won the game there if Neumont was a little bit slower, because they were mid-hop from what I saw. That being said, we will be getting into this next map here. It is game point for Auburn here, as they are 3-1 Auburn favored. The next map should be Tower Control Undertow Spillway. If Undertow is the map that I remember, it's a pretty big one, and Tower Control is pretty interesting on this map given how big it is. It takes forever to run across the map, so jumps are going to be pretty important here as we are readying up. Going to be interested to see if people swap out their picks. I've seen Auburn play 2 Splatanas. I wouldn't be surprised if they played a brush and a Splatana, or 2 Splatanas, or just some faster weapons on this map rather than the slower ones that we saw them play last time. I don't know if it's necessarily slower, it just felt a little slower, if you know what I mean. For those who are watching, we are powered by Lenovo. We're on a Lenovo PC. We are powered by Lenovo. Getting into the game here now. Yep. Tower Control Undertow. Okay, Undertow is not the one I thought it was. Undertow is a much shorter map. We're gonna see much faster weapons here for sure. Yeah. We see the S-Blast, we see the brush come out. That's exactly what I was expecting from them. We see both teams have that Splatling gun. We have the bucket back. That makes sense. Undertow has so many good ledges for a bucket. As Neumont is trying to play up. This brush rushes way too deep as they go down. Neumont has a pick, but again, they're not really pushing up. They're not really playing off of it. Akuma goes down himself. Auburn finds 2 on Neumont. They have the respawn from the brush. They're going to break through this first checkpoint basically right away. We have 1 bubble popped on point. We're going to see maybe some double bubble gameplay. We love double bubble in Tower Control. Yep, there's the second bubble for the double bubble. Crazy work. It just lets you get such a... Oh my lord, double kill from their Splatling gun here. As Neumont is 3 down, they've already broken through the second checkpoint. They're at the third. That second checkpoint is usually considered one of the hardest to break, and they hop off the objective for a couple seconds here to get on. But they have another bubble on objective. They're breaking through it right now. They get that third checkpoint out as Neumont goes 2 down once again. We see them pop bubble on the objective once again, but they just do not have the players out here anymore. As this brush goes down, we see a couple jumps in. Booyah Bomb goes out. Can it find anyone? It does not, but this S-Blast manages to pick off 1 from Neumont. 12 points left for Auburn here. They can find it. We see the S-Blast manage to take out 1. This brush is pushed pretty far forward. 3 down on Auburn as Neumont has finally taken back the point. Brush goes down, but manages to trade with Akuma. That's pretty bad for Neumont. Akuma needs to try to stay up and keep their points for their special up and ready if they want to win the game. Neumont breaks through that first objective as they are pushing up and forward. Bubble comes out just a second too late as the S-Blast manages to find them. 1 on Neumont is remaining to defend here. It's just the decav. As they go down 2. 4 up on Auburn, 2 down on Neumont. They managed to find one, but Neumont is in a bad spot as we are going to see a double bubble once again, probably here. Yep, one bubble goes out. They're 12, 10, 9. They hop off objective as they just have such an oppressive lead. Once again, this might be game for Neumont if Auburn can eke this out here. You see that Wreath come in from Neumont. They managed to find 2 on Auburn. Neumont pushing up, finding a 3rd. Wipeout from Neumont. Good plays as they are going to try to push up and find this objective here. You see them trying to paint. Soda goes down. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Soda goes down. Decal tries to pick it up. Did Akuma not have the Soda himself? That sucks. Akuma did not have the Soda. 2 go down from Neumont. Pretty fast respawns as they come back up pretty fast. Their entire team is back up, but once again, they are at a disadvantage. They do manage to trade with the Booyah there as 2 go down on Neumont. We're going to see a double bubble once again, just coming out and making sure that they're allowed to push basically for free here. They hop off to make sure they don't go down to that bomb there. See the bubble come out on the objective, but they still have to hop off because of the bomb. They avoid that. 9, 8, 7, 5, 4. Come on. Neumont barely stops it. 2-1-0. Wasn't paying attention to the objective as Auburn has won the set. Good games, Neumont. Good games, Auburn. I'm just going to double check and confirm that that is game. You said you are not playing the entire set, correct? Question mark? All right, I just got confirmation that that was, in fact, the last game of the set. With that being said, good games, everyone. We saw some really big plays from both Neumont and Auburn. Auburn was just playing a little bit better, honestly. They were playing around their picks, playing pretty communicatively, if I do have to say so myself. I could tell their comms were very, very good. Every time they found a pick, they immediately started collapsing. They immediately started pushing forward. They were on top of the game. And that just led them to an absolute victory in their favor. With all that being said, I've had a good one. I don't think I have anything else for y'all. Catch y'all later for some Marvel Rivals, I believe, at 6:30 tonight. I believe it should be me and Noah, assuming that Noah shows up. With that being said,